The Integrity Commission has raised concerns about irregularities and perceived conflict of interest in the awarding of millions of dollars in contracts by the Health Ministry to the public relations firm Market Me Consulting Limited. The concerns are contained in a report tabled in the House of Representatives today. But the Director of Investigations, Kevon Stevenson, says given what he describes as evidentiary gaps, there's no basis on which to recommend criminal charges be pursued by the Director of Corruption Prosecution. Siobhan Campbell reports.
The Integrity Commission investigated alleged conflicts of interest involving Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, the Ministry of Health, and Market Me. The investigation looked into whether Dr. Tufton used his power to direct the ministry to award contracts to Market Me. The 15 contracts amount to almost $80 million. The anti-corruption body also examined the state of the relationship between Dr. Tufton and one of the principals of Market Me, Lyndsey McDonnough, and whether that relationship had a bearing on the award of contracts to the company. The IC's probe covered the period January 2016 to December 2020. According to the 88-page report, the IC's Director of Investigations, Kevon Stevenson, found evidentiary gaps in the probe. Those gaps, he says, which are of a technical nature, prevented him from recommending to the Director of Corruption Prosecution that criminal charges be pursued. The investigation examined contracts for projects including the Jamaica Moves campaign and COVID-19 initiatives. The IC says 14 of the 15 contracts were awarded to Market Me by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Those 14 contracts were awarded using the direct contracting method. The IC found that 2 of those 14 contracts for reimbursements represented a breach of the direct contracting method. One of those 2 contracts was valued at $1.7 million. The other was valued at $1.54 million. According to the IC, both contracts exceeded the direct contracting limit of $1.5 million. One contract exceeded the limit by just over $250,000, while the other exceeded the limit by just over $41,000. The IC also concluded that 3 instances in which the Health Ministry described the services rendered in the award of contracts to Market Me as reimbursements were inappropriate. According to the Commission, that demonstrates poor and ineffective procurement planning by the Health Ministry. The IC also concluded that the apparent award of 6 contracts to Market Me by the Health Ministry on the same day, May 1, 2019, was irregular and contrary to the principle of competition. Those 6 contracts range in value from $1.15 million at the lowest to $1.75 million at the highest. The anti-corruption body also found that the circumstances which gave rise to the award of one contract to Market Me for $15.81 million based on an unsolicited proposal as a serious irregularity. On the point of conflicts of interest, the IC says it found no evidence that the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, was directly involved in the award of contracts to Market Me in the amount of $15.8 million. But according to the Commission, Dr. Tufton's actions could reasonably be considered to have indirectly influenced the engagement of Market Me.
And Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says he's pleased that the IC has reported no illegality by any party involved in its probe. Dr. Tufton says throughout the process, he has remained focused on fulfilling his duties as minister and on advancing the public health agenda in the best interest of the Jamaican people. The health minister says the matter, which has remained in the public domain for several years, has cast unfair doubt not only on his integrity, but also the reputation of others involved. Dr. Tufton says he regrets any hurt or reputational damage that may have resulted from the prolonged public scrutiny. He says he respects the processes now before the Speaker of the House and shall remain committed to serving with integrity.